thought so. Yet she smarted so severely for hers, most of her daughters have been afraid of it ever since. When it comes to the education of my own children, I soon find myself out of my depth and destitute and deficient in every part of education. Women, you know, sir, are considered as mere domestic beings, although they inherit an equal share of curiosity with the other sex.
Mere? In curiosity, equal and more. In learning, to tell you the truth, I admire the ladies in France. Now, don't be jealous. They are handsome and very well educated. Their accomplishments are exceedingly brilliant, and their knowledge of letters and the arts exceeds that of the English ladies much, I believe.
I can hear of the brilliant accomplishments of any of my sex with pleasure, but at the same time regret the narrow, trifling, contracted education of the females of my own country. Oh, you need not be reminded how much female education is neglected or how fashionable it has become to ridicule female learning. It is my happiness to acknowledge that I am connected with a person of a more generous mind, but I cannot forbear sharing some generous sentiments I met with lately upon the subject. If women, says the writer, are to be esteemed our enemies, methinks it is an ignoble cowardice thus to disarm them and not allow them the same weapons we use ourselves.
Defoe!
But if they deserve the title of our friends,
I know it's not Shakespeare.
it is an inhumane tyranny to debar them of privileges of ingenious education, which would also render their friendships so much more delightful to themselves and us.
Very true, my dear. In reading history, you will generally observe when you light upon a great character, whether a general, a statesman, or philosopher, there is usually some female about him, either in the character of a mother, a wife, or a sister, who has knowledge and ambition above the ordinary level of women, and that much of his eminence is owing to her precepts, example, or instigation in some shape or other.
Yes, but learning cannot be attained by chance, John. It must be sought for with ardor and diligence. If we mean to have heroes, statesmen, and philosophers, then we must have learned women. The world perhaps would laugh at me and accuse me of vanity. But you, I know, have a mind too enlarged and liberal to disregard the sentiment.
Your thoughts on the importance of education for women are exactly agreeable with my own. Yet the femme savants are contemptible characters. Well, so is that of a pedant universally, how much soever of a male he may be.
Yes, but education is a prerogative to which your sex lays an almost exclusive claim, one of the many. I cannot pretend to be an adept at the art of government, yet it looks rational that a government of good laws should carry with it the fairest prospect of happiness for the whole community, not merely the masculine half.
Oh, depend upon it, we know better than to repeal our masculine systems. Although they are in full effect, you know they are little more than theory.
I cannot say that you have been very generous to the ladies, for while you are proclaiming peace and goodwill to all men, emancipating all nations, you insist on retaining absolute power over wives. But you must remember this. Arbitrary power is like most other things which are very hard, very liable to be broken.
We dare not exert our power to its fullest extent. We are obliged to go fair and softly. And in practice, you know, we are the subjects.
Oh, we have too many high-sounding words and too few actions that correspond with them.
Men have only the names of masters, and rather than give this up, which would subject us completely to the despotism of the petticoat, I hope General Washington and all our brave heroes would fight. I begin to think our enemies as deep as they are wicked. After stirring up Indians, Tories, bigots, Canadians, and Roman Catholics, at last they have stimulated the ladies to demand new privileges and threaten to rebel.
That your sex are naturally tyrannical is a truth so thoroughly established as to admit of no dispute. But such of you as wish to be happy up the harsh title of master for the more tender and endearing one of friend? Why then not put it out of the power of the lawless and vicious to use us with cruelty and indignity? Men of sense in all ages abhor the customs which treat us as the vassals of your sex only. I long to hear that you have declared in the new code of laws that you remember the ladies and are more generous and favorable to them than their ancestors. Do not put so much power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion and will not hold ourselves bound by any law in which we have no voice or representation. What say you? Do you not approve of that speech? Am I not a courageous being? Courage is a laudable and glorious virtue in your sex. Why not in mine?
You really are very brave, my dear. You are a heroine. As to your extraordinary code of laws, my Portia, I cannot but laugh. We have been told that our revolution has loosened the bands of government everywhere, that children and apprentices were disobedient, that schools and colleges were grown turbulent, that those indentured slighted their guardians and slaves their masters. But yours is the first intimation we have had that a tribe more numerous and powerful than all the rest were grown discontented. This is rather too coarse a compliment, but you are so saucy I will not blot it out. Abigail?
I have not felt in the humor to entertain you. If I am careful to respond, it is lest some unbecoming infecting. Desire and sorrow were both denounced upon my sex as punishment for the transgressions of Eve. Oh, I never wondered the philosopher who thanked the gods he was created a man rather than a woman.
Let not your passions lead you into unbecoming heat, my dear. You know I would the world were different. Since it were not but as it is, I must often take care and avoid writing you about politics because you are a woman.
No.
What offense have I committed? A woman. I will soon make it up. I think women better in general than men. And I know that you can keep a secret as well as any man whatever. But the world don't know this. And therefore, if I were to write you any secrets and the letter be caught and hitched into the newspaper, the world would say that I was not to be trusted with a secret.
I see I have helped my sex abundantly.
My dear?
Do not worry, John. I have but made trial of the disinterestedness of your virtue.
Ah, well, what shall I call you for putting me in this puzzle, eh? A tease.
And when weighed in the balance,